It's your girl Leah, and I'm back with another video.
I dedicated every damn thing to this. I had to take a loss so I could cherish this shit.
Today, your girl's going on a rant, and I know y'all love my freaking ranting, emotional ass videos, so here is one. Your girl's having a bad day. I want to start out by saying, if I cry in this video, if I seem super dramatic and emotional, I am. Your girl's hormones are doing the Dougie, bitch.
Up to me and said, teach me how to dug it. Teach me how to dug it. If you really want to know, then girl, you gotta go to D-Town. Teach me how to dug it. Teach me how to dug it.
There's so much I have to say, so I don't know how to say it, if I should say it. If I'm dumb for saying it, if I'm dumb for feeling like this, I don't fucking know. But 2021, something that I really wanted to work with was my emotions, how I control them. In better words, if somebody's reaction or action isn't an action I agree with, or an action I would do, or a good action in general, I tend to beat myself up over the action that somebody else did. In general, it just causes me to have a huge, bad, negative reaction. And it's something that I feel like I have not mastered out of all the things that I have gone through, because then it also turns into me having reactions and actions to people, like bad, negative reactions and actions to people that don't deserve those actions, but because somebody did that, originally fucked up and did an action to me, I take that action and make it me. Today, a situation like that kind of happened. It's even more hard for me just because I'm actually trying to keep a lot of things to myself. A person I've been talking to, it was good, everything was good, then all of a sudden things just kind of, you know when something is off and something just doesn't feel the same. Calls to check up on each other to like, not that at all. Talking every other day. It just, the consistency wasn't there. I don't necessarily care if the dude was like, hey, I'm not trying to fuck with you no more, like it's done. It's cool, because obviously I'm getting the fucking hint by the way that you're acting. I stopped hitting you up, you would think like, all right, I'm just gonna stop talking to her and not waste her time, or like vice versa. But it seems like every single guy I've talked to in my life just likes to antagonize it and waste my time. As soon as I feel like that's not reflected the way I'm reflecting it, or I could, or I want to reflect it, then I'm gonna distance myself and act accordingly. It's just things that I am not doing because I thought we were fucking with each other, but obviously we're not on the same page. And like I was saying earlier, I'm working on, instead of being that confrontational ass person and saying, hey, well, what the fuck, like you did this, you're doing this, you're doing that, because I've been that person in my life, my whole entire life, and it got me nowhere. I went about everything in a different route, right? Or I'm trying to. Today happened. It's been like a couple days since I talked to the dude. It's only when I am not home that all of a sudden this dude wants to call me and talk to me, right? Be home in bed all day, 24/7. This past week I've been home in bed, not doing nothing. But then all of a sudden I'm at work and you want to call me. Coincidence? I think not. I call you, you're not rushing to answer the phone, blah, 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 whatever. I'm not going to rush to the phone to talk to you for 5 minutes, because after 5 minutes, you're going to be like, oh, well, I'll talk to you later. And then you never talk to me later. It's draining, not what I want. And I feel better not talking to you than talking to you and getting nowhere. Today happened. And instead of me confronting, like I said earlier, I usually confront it, blow out of proportion, whatever, I talk my shit. And today I went about things differently, and when dude called me, I didn't answer, and I said, I'll talk to you later. A simple ass text, I'll talk to you later. He responded something to regards of like, oh, well, are you at work or something? Is that why? and then said I in a second text message because I didn't text back fast enough, right? So now that I'm saying, like, I'll talk to you later, you don't like that rejection, so then now you want to text me back fast, and when I'm not texting you in a timely manner, then now you're pressed, right? So then whatever, I tell him, like, I'm busy doing something right now, I'm about to go to work, we could talk, like, when I'm off of work, if you're down. If you're not, then it's cool. After I had said, like, well, I'm going to work, blah, 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 I'll call you later, like, you talk to me every other day, I was like, I'm not down. I just kind of said, I'm not down for 5-minute conversations. It's feeding me false information. It's not even, I don't want to hear it. I don't believe you. I don't trust what you're saying. I don't believe you're going to call me back anymore. It's just, I don't want to do it anymore. Once I said that, then it turned into a complete fight. I feel like this is what people with borderline personality disorder struggle with, is in the moment you know your right mind, you know what's right from wrong, and you know what you don't want to tolerate, and you know what you do want to tolerate. But then when it comes to it, and you confront it, and it's like, whatever, people love to, like, make you feel like you're the bad person, loves to manipulate the situation and make you feel like, well, you're the one that's crazy, that's why I'm acting this way. And of course, when somebody tells you that and you have borderline personality disorder, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna be like, well, fuck, like, I am stupid. That is exactly what it is. And it happens every single time, and that's why I have such a struggle of, like, confronting some people with things, or why I don't like talking about a lot of shit. It leads me to think in the moment when I'm like, when I read all that shit, it's like, well, this is why nobody gives a fuck about me. Like, maybe it is me, maybe I am tripping, maybe everybody has those thoughts. But when it comes to people with borderline, I know it comes so vividly, especially because you already have problems with identity. It's hard because I start thinking, like, oh, maybe I am tripping, maybe I should have just not said anything, I should have just made it seem like everything's okay. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, pretty much. Like, if I confront the person the way I want to confront the person on a crazy ass level, then I end up coming off as a psycho, or I come off as crazy, or I come off as extra, or I need to chill, or I need a break. But then I come at the person like, oh, I don't care, like, everything's fine, and I don't get my point across. Or I could just be straight up, say how I feel, hear what the person has to say, and then deal with the whole identity crisis during it. It just automatically sends my brain to a trigger blank space, like, oh my gosh, I'm stupid, I'm stupid, like, I'm a fucking idiot. Happened. My mom's that person that tells me, that middle ground, that's like, you're not crazy, you said everything okay, like, you weren't mean, you weren't disrespectful. Because I do have a tendency, like I said before, I have had a tendency to be super crazy and probably, like, said some shit that, like, I shouldn't have said. I should have just kept to myself. So I always go to my mom when it comes to confrontational type things, or comes to me being emotional and me confused about if I said the right thing, if I did the right thing, if I did something wrong. I don't even want to say that they gave me a reaction that I didn't want them to give me, or a reaction that I didn't even expect. It's just more like, I came to you on a whole other level than I really wanted to. I'm regretting coming to you on that level because you just completely invalidated everything that I just said. I feel like this is just literally a generalized fucking experience, because with every single guy I have ever talked to ever in my life, like, I'm telling you guys, I'll try to have a conversation with a guy and it'll end like 2 days later, because either the dude does something, or I do something, or something happens. I don't know. That one of the biggest triggers for me is that when somebody tries to put me down, or they say something that tries to put me down on purpose when you didn't need to say that. I didn't say nothing to you to make you feel bad about yourself. And it's not necessarily, I don't think that people I try not to think that people intentionally do or say these things, but if I'm emotional and I'm sad, I would never tell you that you can't handle this because you're feeling this way, because I don't believe that just because you're sad one day, or just because your hormones are everywhere, or just because this, that, and the third means that I can't handle this. As soon as you stop doing more of something that somebody else is doing less of, okay with it, they're never gonna just come to terms with it. You always have to go off of what they're doing, not of what they're telling you. Because that's what matters more. Because you could tell me all day, I fuck with you, I don't know what you're talking about, you're tripping, you need to calm down, you need to take a break, we need to talk about it, and we could talk about it. But until the other person's actions change, and until the other person really does something to make you feel like their actions match their words, then don't listen. As long as you're doing what's best for you, defending yourself, you know your worth, that's all that matters. 100%. I tend to forget that even with the confrontation there between me and this person, even if we didn't have the confrontation and I did answer the phone, or I did call him back, or I didn't even say anything and just left it alone, chances are I would still be in the same position, which saying that I would still be in my fucking bed chilling for the next few days, not talking to anybody. It would still be the same thing, the same process, the same fucking thing as me saying something and being 100%. The only difference is that now this person knows, like, I'm not tolerating it, versus me just leaving it alone and me sugarcoating it like everything's okay and I'm not seeing shit. I know it's like more or less the thought of the fact that, okay, you said all this, and there's a chance that now this is not gonna be fixed. It's not gonna, there's nothing to fix. If it's real, if whatever we're talking about is real, if our friendship is real, if anything is real, it's not gonna be invalidated, it's not gonna be neglected. I'm just kind of talking now. If you guys like this video, learned something from this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments if you guys have gone through something like this. If you guys are going through something like this, tell me how you guys feel about it, because I always like to know. I like to relate to you guys just like you guys like to relate to me. And also subscribe to see my face more often if you haven't already. Moral of the story, I hate boys, I hate guys. I need a real man in my life, because a man's not going to do half the shit, baby girl. But why am I coming across these little fucking boys? These little fucking boys. And I love you guys all so much. I shall see you guys in my next video.